my good P3 children, wherever you are, I salute you. Here I have come to have with you lesson 3, and in the previous work we had with you, we learned about living things, and I would like us first of all to review what we had at first in our lesson 1 and lesson 2. So basically, living things, we define them as things that have life, okay? And even we gave some of the examples of living things. However, there are very many in the community, and we are proceeding with the plants. As much as we had a lot in our previous lessons 1 and 2, but I told you that we are not looking at animals, we are basically looking at plants. And today we are now proceeding with non-flowering plants. What are non-flowering plants? Non-flowering plants are plants which do not bear flowers. Non-flowering plants are plants which do not bear flowers. Examples of non-flowering plants. 1, we have ferns. Some people are now wondering, even a fern? No, I'm not meaning a fern that we normally use in our houses to maybe bring fresh air. I am looking at ferns as a plant. Then also we have conifers, we have Moses, not a person. A person, we call him Moses. But now since it's a plant and a non-flowering, we say Moses. Then we have liverworts. Some of you are going to ask me, where can we get this, teacher? These examples of non-flowering plants, we can get them in places such as damp tree trunk, damp tree trunks. What do I mean by that? Here is where you find a log of a tree which was cut some time back. So now it is rotting. When that log continues rotting, then these flowering plants, examples of them, the likes of Moses, you find their conifers, you find their liverworts, you will see such things growing and they are green in color. I'm saying that damp tree trunk, a damp tree trunk is a trunk that was cut for some time and now it is rotting. So in such a place, you can find there Moses, you can find there liverworts, you can find there even conifers. Where else can we get that? We can also observe these flowering plants. Some of them even grow at the basement of our veranda. When you observe a damp veranda, when I say damp veranda, I mean a veranda having some water underneath. When I say underneath, inside. So you will observe some green coloring material there. That one indicates that it is a non-flowering plant. You will not see them bearing flowers as flowering plants. Where else can we find this? Where else can we find these conifers, ferns, and Moses? We can get them in waterlogged areas. Not only necessarily that we are going to find them in a tree trunk which is rotting or alongside the veranda. No. Dear children, you can as well get this in a waterlogged area. Just there is where there is water which does not move. Waterlogged. Water which does not move. So you are going to find there some of the green coloring matter, and they represent ferns, conifers, mosses, or liverworts. Dear children, we are now moving to characteristics of plants. We want to look at characteristics of plants. One, we are looking at plants grow. Plants grow. You know, a plant is also a living thing, and it grows as well. From a seed, it germinates. You always see seeds at home there. When you put this seed in water or in soil containing water, this seed will germinate, and it is an indication that the plant now is growing. Once the seed germinates, it will now develop into a seedling, and therefore a plant will be developing or growing. Even us also, we also grow. Therefore plants grow. Two, plants reproduce. Plants reproduce because they keep on multiplying in number. You find a guava plant here. Tomorrow you are going to get another one again somewhere there. An example, maybe I can give you an example of a banana plantation. For example, we have a banana plantation around here. It's just a sketch of our banana plantation due to time. This is the main sucker. We don't call it maybe a stem, or we don't call it just maybe a plant. It is a sucker of a banana plantation. Then afterwards, you are going to find that this plant, at the basement of it, there are some other suckers that will be developing with the time. You will find another one there. You are going to find also another one developing this side. When you happen now to harvest this, when it flowers and then you cut the mature bunch of matoke, then these others will also continue. So this one, it is an indication of reproduction. You will not see a plant producing a child that maybe somebody is taking a plant to the hospital. No, we shall not see people with their plants in the hospital that I have brought my plant to give birth. For them, they multiply wherever they are, just from the compound there. You find seeds growing, you find banana plantations also developing, you see other plants also increasing in number, but however, we don't find them in the hospital that a plant has gone there to give birth. Also, we shall move on and look at also plants feed. Just like any other living thing, they also need to feed. They also feed. Therefore, that is the reason why most of the plants make their own food, and that food we call it starch that we also eat. So plants make their own food, therefore they feed on their manufactured food. We shall also look at they breathe. Plants breathe, or some of you are going to come across some terms like respire, that plants respire. Respire is to breathe, breathing in and out. You know very well that plants in the compound, they take in, they absorb carbon dioxide, and then they release out oxygen. Oxygen is used by we people or animals, and the carbon dioxide for us we reject by breathing it out as a waste material. It is then absorbed by plants. Therefore, plants breathe. They also move. And somebody will say, one time I came across a term known as locomote. Locomote is the same as movement. Plants locomote. Plants move from one place to another. Somebody will ask me, how does a plant move? A plant move, my good children. How? You may plant here, for example, you may plant here your beans. Let us give an example of a bean plantation. It is fixed underneath the surface of the earth. Then we have some leaves. We have leaves. Then we have a bean pod. We have a bean pod having beans or having bean seeds inside. Then also we can get here a bean pod also containing beans inside. Okay? It's just a sketch of a bean plant. Let me now say something about locomotion. How plants locomote, or how plants move from one place to another. We have what we call seed dispersal. Seeds are dispersed in various or to various places. In which way? We have some other seeds which are dispersed by people. We have some other plants which are just dispersed by themselves. When there is too much heat, they split and then seeds scatter in different places. That's what we call dispersal. Good children, we had wanted to know points about movement of plants, that plants move. Now, example of this bean plant, that when you find sometimes you may get seeds scattered to various places. That one means that it is seed dispersal, scattering of seeds from the mother plant to occupy other places. So that is movement. That is how some plants move. There are very many examples to show movement of plants on the compound. So it's just an example of a seed dispersal, that seeds can scatter from the parent plant to colonize other areas. If you come and pick this bean pot and take at home, it means the plant has moved. Seeds have moved from one place to another. So seeds, rather plants, move or locomote. Plants also excrete. Excretion is the matter of removing or removal of the waste products from the body. However, now plants excrete. What do they excrete? They now lose excess water into the atmosphere. That is what we call transpiration. So as that water from a plant is escaped, that is, we now say that plants excrete the removal of waste products through transpiration, where water goes to the atmosphere and then condenses, comes down later on as rainfall. Then we shall also look at plant habitats. What are plant habitats? Plant habitats, a plant habitat is a place where plants grow. Or sometimes you can say a plant habitat is a place where plants are found. Where plants are found. So, good children, it has been our third lesson, and I will have to end here. However, emphasizing much on this, we are going to give this work as a hard copy. You are going to tell your mom or your dad to come at school and pick the notes. You will be given a hard copy. That hard copy will have the exercise. So therefore, my good children, endeavor to answer the questions. Thank you so much for being part of this lesson.